Hey Tim, so we're now going to talk about why OKRs fail and the benefits of OKRs. So starting on the left, number one, Tim, tell us about this. In name only, standard KPIs take over.
Yeah, the company has already got a system of managing their vision, breaking that down into objectives, doing it on a quarterly target setting basis, linking it to personal objectives, team objectives. And they want KPIs, but they implement it, and then the normal standard KPI system takes over. And that's one of the main reasons that OKRs fails.
Second reason here, acronym obscures purpose and intention.
Bullshit bingo. Yeah. Give it a three-letter acronym, and it's doomed to failure. Yeah. So people start speaking about OKRs rather than saying, so this is our objective, this is where we want to go, and this is the way that we're going to measure it, and these are the tasks and initiatives that we're going to do in order to get there. Yeah. So making sure that that acronym doesn't take over is critical.
Number three, OKRs become a fringe process.
And this is where the reporting on OKRs is only done in a specific OKR session with an OKR coach, rather than done hand in hand with the existing meeting process. I can't emphasize how important this is. If you have to set up a specific OKR meeting, it's going to fail. If you're embedding OKRs within the existing meetings, it has a much greater opportunity to exist. I think it's worth saying that OKRs can take over from the standard way that companies work, because after 3 months, 12 months of using OKRs, the teams say, why are we doing this other KPI related stuff on a quarterly basis when our OKR structure is already really defining where we're going on an ongoing basis?
Number four, Tim, team OKRs are terrible.
And that's the feedback that managers give OKR coaches. They say, "Oh God, look at this. Look at the quality of this OKR. It's terrible." And unfortunately, this has to be seen simply as a way of feedback for the lead or for the manager, because the team writes up their interpretation of the objective, the key results, and the tasks. And their interpretation is reality as they see it, which means if they're giving you bad quality, that's feedback to the way that you described what that objective is. It could also be feedback to the quality of their decision-making processes, their intelligence in terms of understanding where to go with this, and their quality in terms of work. A whole bunch of stuff is behind that. So unfortunately, it's actually very good feedback to receive, because it's a call to action for the leads.
And finally, on this list of why OKRs fail, number five, Tim, out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, that's again, OKR meeting is on the agenda for the end of the month, for in 6 weeks' time or 2 months' time, and nobody looks at the documentation, and nobody speaks about it between now and then. Yeah, which means that the OKR and the reality of what people are doing are different. Yeah, so you're writing an objective and nobody's focused on it, which means it isn't an objective. It isn't important. Or if it is, then even worse, people are doing the wrong stuff in their normal day-to-day work. Yeah. So lots of reasons how OKRs can fail. Lots of benefits there as well. Increased employee input, and more responsive to customer feedback. Any ideas there?
Well, definitely, as you said, I mean, increased employee input when you're talking about a bottom-up structure. You've got the employees getting to grips with things, and we've spoken before about what keeps people in a company, and one of the key things that keeps people working, keeps people motivated, doing well, and staying there is knowing how what they do fits in with the broader company goals. And so OKRs is a very, very clear and specific way of ensuring that they understand that their work is worthwhile and is actually contributing to the greater good. More
Yeah.
responsive to customer feedback makes a lot of sense to me. Of course, with those key results, you're constantly monitoring how things are going. We saw in the example an increase in percentage of what their customers were doing. So it's very, very much keeping an eye on the development of those key results.
And, for most team members, customer feedback is going to be feedback from their boss and from other departments in the organization. And an increase in the quantity of feedback gives you a higher job satisfaction. An increase in the quantity of feedback means that fixes and solutions come faster, and an increase in feedback automatically means you're getting more cross-functional collaboration because there are more requests and questions going out to other teams, and that gives you a better handle on risk as well.
I think that last point's a really interesting one. Of course, there's always risks with every kind of selection of objective because the question is, okay, what are you not aiming to achieve? But when that's been selected, it's always a matter of considering is what I'm doing, is what my team doing, moving towards that North Star that we spoke about, that objective that is there and is aligned through all the different teams. So you spoke about being more cross-functional. We've spoken about kind of alignment and the fact that I know that my team, their team, that department is all working towards this shared and aligned objective.
Yeah. And a couple of the quotes that I've heard, which are quite inspirational, is that OKRs should be used as a way of driving discussions, driving work packages, and driving teams to reach the goals that they want that they set out. So it shouldn't be used as a way of measuring. Yeah. KPIs measure. KPIs measure stuff that's happened in the past. OKRs are designed to push things forward, to push things in front of you, and to have those parts of the discussions. So OKRs and KPIs fit together really, really well, actually. Yeah, there's no problem in having a health indicator like a KPI to say what is the health of the business and having a whole series of metrics behind there. OKRs are the weekly, bi-weekly, monthly discussions that say, are we on track? Are we moving to the place that we want to go? And so beginning with a couple is always beneficial. Beginning with one or two teams is always a good idea. Beginning with a cadence of every 4 months rather than every 3 months is a good idea because it breaks the dynamic of the quarterly reporting process, which means people feel freer about using them, and really giving ownership into the teams themselves to the ways that the discussions are running with a good framework behind it is a guaranteed way to get there.